emotions, but of course, it is a very difficult thing. For me, this who I hope has shown Álvaro Arbeloa and the new Real Madrid staff that he should be playing a lot more minutes than he had been playing. That is the big takeaway for Brahim Diaz. It's going to be a difficult thing to shake, but it should be a positive outcome for him for the tournament. Sadio Mane, of course, legend, an absolute legend of the sport, a legend in his country, a legend in the Premier League. I don't know what's going to happen after that he has made sure of. And he wins the man of the tournament, player of the tournament for the captain of Senegal, the twice champion of the AFCON, Sadio Mane. Now we'll begin with the medal ceremony. First the referees, and we'll see Nigeria's here. Who's supposed to get their medals today. Fantino. Morocco going up. To get their medals. To name every player in the Moroccan team. Elizabeth Seguir, unavailable for today's game. Azzedine Ounaoui, unavailable for today's game. Soufiane Raimi, Chemsdine Talbi, Sofiane Amrabat, Youssef Belamiri, Roman Sass, Mohamed Chivi, Abdelhamir Adboudlal, Munir from Berkane, El Mahdi Al Harar, and then the players that saw action today with Hamza Igamane, Ilyas Ahomash, Anas Salah Eddin, Jawad El Jamik, Youssef El Nisiri, Usama Targaline, and the starting 11 with Jassim Bono, Nusar Mazraoui, Adam Massina, Nayef Aguerd, Achraf Hakimi, Ismail Saibari, Neil El-Nawi, Bilal El-Hanous, Abdesamad Ezatzuli, Ayub El-Kabi, and Brahim Diaz. And of course, Coach Walid Regragui and his entire coaching staff. Wonderful coach, Walid Regragui, semi-finalist in the last World Cup, but now unfortunately not getting the result they wanted. In the last AFCONs, of course, immediately takes up the medal. Got a chance. This is not to see Elise Benseir also. Very sad. It's not easy winning this tournament at home. And Morocco, unfortunately, is part of that stat. Ethiopia did it in 1962, beating the United Arab Republic 4-2 in that at extra time. Ghana did it in 63, beating Sudan 3-0. Sudan did it in 1970, beating Ghana 1-0, who then did it in 1978, beating Uganda. A couple years later, Nigeria did it by beating Algeria. Egypt did it in 86. Algeria in 1990, South Africa in 96, Tunisia in 2004, Egypt in 06. And the last one to do with the Ivory Coast in 2023. It's time for the medals for the champions. Senegal with Habibou Mouhamadou Diallo, Sheikh Sabali, Boulaye Dia, Pate Sis, Pape Sarr, the Tottenham player, Ousseynou Niang, Mamadou Lamine Camara, reserve goalie Yaman Diouf, Mori Diaw, and then the players saw action today: Ismail Jacobs, Sherif Ndiaye, Ibrahim Mbaye, Ismail Assar, Abdullah Yesek, and the starting 11 of Edouard Mendy, Antoine Mendy, Mamadou Sarr, Moussa Niakate, Malik Diouf, Lamine Camara, Idrissa Gana Gueye, Pape Wey, Ilman Ndiaye, Nicholas Jackson, and of course, the great Sadio Mane. That is the entire lineup, led by coach Pape Thiaw, the 44-year-old who took charge of the national team in August 2025, led them to the World Cup, and now leads them to an AFCON win. What a tournament for Senegal. Koulibaly getting his medal. And they just want to get through this. They just want to lift the trophy, as they did in Cameroon in 2021. Cameroon, who made it to the semifinals that time at home, failed. Ended up being third by beating Burkina Faso. There's the trophy. Fighting a little over who is going to present the trophy to the champions. The delivery of the trophy. Asking for everyone to be there. Ready to lift it with the flag. They left for this one. It was a difficult tournament. And Senegal is the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations champion. And look at that lifting. That is the image that we're going to remember from this 30. And I understand everything that happened. The calls, the players trying to leave the pitch. Of course the controversy will live on. But I do hope that when it's all said and done, when we think back at the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations, that we remember Sadio Mane, who went and got his players, his teammates, and said, go back to the pitch, let's go play this. He knew they could have won it, and they ended up winning it 1-0. Thank you for joining us, not only today, thank you for joining us through the entire tournament. It's been a great effort by the entire staff of beIN Sports in both Spanish, English, in our analysis show. It is an absolute pleasure to bring you tournaments like this, and I hope that every single one of you, in the good times, in the bad times, in the difficult times, got a little bit of piece of hope every time they saw their team on our screen during the tournament. And we remind you that in March we will have a beIN Sports. My name is Rodrigo del Campo. Thank you for joining us today. Senegal wins their second Africa Cup of Nations.